Hi and welcome to Culture Unraveled, and one of the things I want to talk about in this particular video is the Malayalam movie Jana Gana Mana, which is highly complex in the way that it's told its story. The plot line and the narrative is cut between different segments and different timelines and interweaved together to form a very layered way of storytelling. It's also embedded very profound themes within it as the story progresses and as the story moves along. And what I found particularly interesting is that it deals with very deep subjects, but it doesn't half-bake any of them. It's able to deal with these profound themes for the profundity for what it is. For example, a major theme that is dealt with in the movie is the concept of justice and how we understand justice, and how the masses require instant justice. We want instant justice to be given so that we will be gratified, and the story shows the holes in this type of a desire. Basically, in the storyline, a prominent professor is murdered, and four suspects who have particular criminal histories are arrested for it, and the news media puts out that these people are the one who raped and killed her, and so there is a mass frenzy, and then the police kills them. Police shoots them in an encounter, and everyone is happy because there's instant justice served. And then the movie brings out the holes in that type of conception. Another major theme that the movie brings out is biases, especially caste and identity biases. There is a student within the college who's trying to get her PhD, but her professor would not give her that PhD because he does not believe that people of that particular caste needs to come up in life. So he puts her in that particular place, and then for 7 years she's trying to get her PhD, but it doesn't. And our identity biases and our caste biases plays its role in the movie. Another important theme that emerges is and this is a big one, is how the media distorts the truth, and how our perception of reality and our perception of truth is so deeply connected with what the media says. We don't want to think critically about it. If this is the media headline, then that becomes the dominant narrative. And the power of the media to shape people's life and people's way of thinking about incidents. Why does a particular news become headline? Because the media wants it to be the headline. It wants to shape the collective thought of the masses in this particular direction, and the need to critically analyze that. So the movie raises a lot of questions. It deals with these very, very difficult themes to grapple with, and it shapes our thinking in that. At least it pushes us to ask these type of questions. But a major theme which I feel was dominant throughout the movie is the human quest for truth, and the cost for standing up for truth. And you see that, and I say that this is a major theme in that because you see all the major characters in the movie standing up for truth against the wishes of the majority. So it starts with Professor Sabah Mariam, who sees an injustice, who sees the number of suicides that's happening in this particular school, and finds that there's something wrong institutionally which is causing the students to commit this suicide. And so she writes a report on it. She gets to the bottom of it. And then what the movie shows is that ultimately she has to pay for it with her own life. So she is a professor who's standing up for the truth, whereas the other professors don't want to. There is a student, Gauri, who wants to stand up for her teacher's dignity and the reasons why she dies. So when the vice chancellor comes and kind of waters down and dilutes the whole incident, and all the students are fine with it, you see Gauri standing up for the truth, coming to the podium and then speaking for the truth and galvanizing the students towards it. Another major character is ACP Sajjan Kumar, the police officer who in the beginning, as the movie shows, has his own agenda, but later on understands that he is pushed to stand for the truth, that there is something happening to his son is hospitalized, and he understands the reason for it is he himself, and so he stands up for the truth for his son and also for Sabah's mother. You see the advocate, his name is Arvind Swaminathan and his desire to stand for the truth. And you see even in the movie there is a backstory to his life and the consequences that he had to face for standing up for the truth. So he is a lawyer and he brings out the truth in this courtroom. You also see certain minor characters who are also standing up for the truth. You see Om Prakash, who's a party worker and also a traitor in the beginning, but he stands up for the truth against his party leaders. That's there. You also have this minor character Matthew, who's part of the news media, and he is also on a rigorous pursuit of truth. And what we interestingly see is that each of these characters are moving their institutions towards truth. So it's like a domino effect which finally explodes in this massive revelation of truth and an inspiration for people and galvanization of people. But you see, each one within their particular context is pushing that truth forward. And when they are standing up for the truth, they're also moving their institution along. You know, whether it's the political institution, whether it's the law enforcement institution, whether it's the court of law, all of these come together. And it's because of these individuals who stand up for the truth that they move their institution towards this truth until it's finally revealed. There's a massive explosion of the truth and the lies have come into light. Another very difficult thing to digest, and another thing that the movie very beautifully brings out, is that a lot of these narratives, narratives which come out is, if you stand for the truth, you will be rewarded for it, you know. So the hero stands for the truth and you are rewarded for it. But very counter to that, what this movie shows is that everyone who stood up for the truth has to face dire consequences for it, and those consequences are painful. It's painful for them and for their loved ones and for their people around. Professor Sabah Miriam, what dies for the truth that she holds on to. Gauri is beaten up brutally by the police until she's hospitalized. ACP Sajan Kumar suffers a lot. He loses his career and then he's imprisoned for holding on to the truth. The advocate, he has a huge back story of standing up for the truth and losing his loved ones, and even his back is broken and he has to limp all his life. So you see here, what we see is that the cost for standing up for the truth is painful. The cost for standing up for the truth is suffering, and the movie doesn't dilute that. The movie doesn't want to give a false perception that if one stands up for the truth, their life is going to be easy. Absolutely not. Counter to that, those who cover up the truth, you know, those who prefer their own well-being over anything else and is willing to cover up the truth, they are the ones who are temporarily escaping any type of suffering, and it seems like they are getting away from it. But ultimately what the narrative, what focuses towards, is that truth will have its day. It will come out. It will ultimately win. How much ever you try to cover it up, whatever people try to do, how much ever powers that we try to brush it aside, it will ultimately emerge. And so Jana Gana Mana is sort of a testament to that. It's a movie that in one sense inspires, pushes us into action, but also wants us to know that if you were to move in this action, well, there is no easy road to it. It's a road that is marked with suffering, and we need to be able to bear with that if we are going to pursue this endeavor.